Listening to you driving in, you and Rusty on News Partner 96.5 WDBO, also on our free WFTV weather app. Brian, this does have a little bit of a hook here. We've been seeing the rotation tighten up right along 417. So we're coming on the southeast side of Lake Mary. This is going to move right over toward Lake Jessup and keep trucking east at about 45 miles an hour. As you said, a history of wind damage so far.
Yeah, it's been moving fast. So we've had this. We've had up in Volusia County. Now the Volusia County tornado warning has expired.
There's tornado on the ground right now, 417 at Lake Jessup.
417, what we were just talking about.
Yes, so right now. So let's go and do a storm track if you would on this, Brian. Here's 417. So we'll take it just on the east side, right over Cameron City. So if your folks are in the Snow Hill area, Geneva, right along State Road 46, go ahead and get in the lowest level. Closet bathroom, away from windows. Brian's been talking about this. I've been listening to that. Also, good idea to put your shoes on. Always good. If there's debris around, we can see this potential tornado right over the 417 Cameron City. So right along State Road 46. Again, this tornado moving eastbound at about 45 miles per hour or so. Just got a text here from Terry, the emergency manager. Tornado on the ground, 417 and Lake Jessup. So that's going to be right over just on the west side of Lake Jessup, Brian. And there's relatively smooth water over the lake, so those winds can accelerate, and that warning will continue all the way through about noon today. Northern section, Seminole, southern parts of Volusia County.
And we've been doing this for decades, and when you see this, I don't like standing here, when you see something like this, again, the history of the damage, the hook echo with this, and again, a tornado. So we've got it on the ground right across the 417. When you were getting ready, we were just saying that across the 417, that's where the worst weather is. And again, in advance of it, over toward Palm Shadows, Geneva, Cow Creek, Kalamazoo. Again, yes, less populated areas, but Tom and I don't care if there's one person there. It matters to us, it matters to you. So again, this is what we're watching. And again, you can see all of this headed through Seminole County with that tornado, 417, and just about to pull off to the east of the 417, Cameron City under the gun.
Yeah, we're looking at this very strong amount of wind in the atmosphere, Brian. We've had this very strong wind coming in from both directions. So north of Oviedo here, go ahead and again, stay indoors, away from windows, that 417 corridor. Here's 426 coming out of Oviedo in toward Geneva. So these storms are really moving fast. We've been watching not only this storm that's across parts of Seminole and Volusia County. It looks like the weather's just now moving offshore into parts of Volusia County and off. But Brian, we've had lots of weather along with this, and certainly this storm pattern continues to move quickly. Again, racing off toward the east at about 45 miles an hour. I'm going to go ahead. Woo, boy, I don't like to see that little hook echo.
So that's an extension that looks like on that tornado warning. Still going until 12:30, but again, expanded out.
I'm going to move this out at about 50 miles an hour, Brian. So you folks over here in the Geiger's Landing area, Geneva, Osceola, Maytown. This tornado potentially on the ground right now, just on the east side of the 417, north end of Lake Jessup. Look at the lightning core, lots of lightning moving along with this. Very strong winds blowing upward at about 60 miles an hour up into the sky. That keeps these things spinning around. So that's why we're really concerned about this storm could continue to produce a tornado at any time over towards State Road 46, right into Geneva, moving over toward the northern side of Osceola County and racing toward the east at about 45 to 50 miles per hour. I'm going to put my IFB earpiece in. I forgot to do that, just getting on the air here so you guys can talk to me. But overall, you can see this storm continues to show quite a bit of rotation. Also notice this magenta color, this purple color, if you will, just on the north side. This is going to be probably some pretty good sized hail on the north side of this storm. That shows us we have very strong winds, not only blowing down at the ground where we are, but also circulating up into the upper atmosphere. So just south of 415, east side of the Lake Jessup area, Brian, moving right toward Pentecost, Maytown, Scottsmore, Oak Hill, and in toward the Shiloh area. Any new updates?
Yeah, no new updates other than...
I'll put my ear in, I'll be right back.
Please, it would be good if you could hear us. We are seeing, again, this moving across, hanging together, so life-threatening situation. The spots you need to take shelter. And again, we talked about it's a weird situation with what's going on as far as the pandemic. Again, this is a classic hook echo, hanging together, tornado that just moved across the 417. So if you're in an apartment complex, out ahead of this, got to get down lowest levels, maybe have a mask on, something like that. But your immediate safety is always our number one concern, your immediate safety. So you may end up with a few people, I understand that, but we got to get down in the lowest levels of these homes. So again, this continues to move off. Let me clear this out. And as Tom said, we're watching everyone around. Again, we've been watching all locations. New Smyrna Beach, that heaviest weather moving offshore. Again, this was just moving toward Martha Sagowski. She was just tweeting me a picture. She did a good job with the kids. They're in an interior room. This is very close to where she is. So again, Palm Shadows, Geneva, that's where the worst weather is and where you need to take your tornado precautions. This will move through Seminole County and then work its way back through southern Volusia County too. And we're going to keep an eye on Brevard, all out ahead of this. We haven't talked much about Brevard and Osceola, but all of this action out ahead of it too. So we're going to be watching everyone here. But history of the storm damage with this, and again, still moving through parts of Seminole County, Tom.
Yeah, still kind of taking a look at some of the radar. You guys have done a great job showing the radar time lapse on this, and we can kind of see the trends here. And I'm just kind of catching up to speed here on this northern storm. So it's going to be right over the 415 area over by Palm Shadows. Let me go ahead and switch back over, show the nearest Doppler radar. We always like to show the closest Doppler when it comes to storms like this. And yeah, there's still a pretty good broad rotation there, Brian. Anywhere between just on the west side of Geneva. Also, it looks like a little bit of an upper level circulation here on the east side of 415. So this continues. A tornado warning out now. Northern sections of Seminole County. We're going to move into southern sections of Volusia County here. We're also going to be watching extreme northern parts, Brian, through about noon of northern parts of Brevard County. But still lots of heavy wind and rain. And as I was driving in, lots of wind energy. Whether you're getting involved in a rain
it's windy.
storm, yeah, it's doggone windy. So let me go and put on the latest radar because we do have rain coming in toward Metro Orlando as well.
Tom, Brian, this is Rusty.
Go ahead, Rusty.
Hey, Tom, take a look at Weather 5 real quick. I switched to our Channel 9 radar, and you can see the hook echo there at Cameron City. Okay?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So just wanted to kind of point out how strong this storm is now. I'm going to take it out in time, and we lose it, but you can see as it crosses the 417 just north of Lake Jessup, or on the northern shoreline of Lake Jessup, just how tight that rotation was, Tom.
Yeah, very strong there, Rusty. Thank you. Just south of the Lake Mary Boulevard extension here. So we're going to be right over Cameron City.
Move it out more, Rusty, move it back to, I don't think that's on now.
No, it's not. I just wanted to show that's what it is now. It's certainly muddied a bit, but there are still some really strong straight line winds. I was looking at some winds of over 50 miles an hour up and down this. And you guys know that within this, it could easily spin back up. There's just embedded rotation within this entire line.
That's a good look. And I just heard too from Vanessa Eckel. She told me she's in Oviedo. They have sirens there. Now, it's a good point to mention that if you're new to this area, you don't run off of hearing sirens or not hearing sirens. Again, you go off the information we're trying to tell you if you're listening on WDBO as well, because some spots have sirens, some don't. Even if you have a siren, you may not hear it inside, and that's why overall the trend has been getting away from sirens, but a few towns still have sirens, so just to give you a heads up on what's going on out there overall. But you can see here, and again, this continues to work its way. Less populated areas, but still where there's some folks, and you see it right there.
So you had a nice little hook over here, Brian, right along over the 417, and then, as is often the case, these things will cycle and it moves right over Lake Jessup, and now it looks like the heaviest will be approaching Geneva. So right in toward Geneva, right as we come in out of Oviedo, 426. So if you're in Geneva, go ahead and keep yourself in the lowest level, closet, bathroom, just away from windows, because this is going to bring a lot of wind energy. And again, it does look like we've got very high reflectivity, bouncing off some pretty big targets here. So that's probably going to be hail, north side, over by Lake Harney. But Geneva, again, go ahead and keep your tornado precautions.
Yeah, you're going to get a hail core out of this, and we'll be tracking this as it moves a bit further.